let's go ahead and move on to the next track. The Stranglers, Black and White. Here we go. I mean, this isn't the track, obviously. This is just doing the intro. We're moving on to the next track here, which is entitled Curfew. This is the first track on the second side of the album as well. So entitled Black Side. So let's see what stylistic differences there may be on this particular side of the album as we begin with Curfew. I don't know if I ever really had a curfew growing up, to be honest, thinking about it. Like, I just knew to be home at a certain time. I didn't really have a be home by this time. I just knew once the street lights come on, you probably got like 10 more minutes. And then that 10 minutes better be used to get yourself home. Let's go ahead and listen to the tracks. Curfew, here we go. This one has an interesting tension around it. With that happening. And it goes back to a normal 8 measure here. This is a different song. Stretching that bass. Okay, with Curfew, this is, to me, their most, like, as of right now, like, their weirdest song, in a sense. The verse is extremely tense. There is so much stress being built up, not just from the obvious Greenfield on the keys with that ascending line, but also I noticed that like it was in 7/8, so that throws it off a little bit, so that adds to the tension and to the little bit of distress. And then the way that Jean is singing on this one, because it seems that he's singing lead on this particular track, it sounds like he's just kind of shouting, and kind of like what I said before of the other instruments, kind of shouting in distress. It sounds like he's just trying to get a message out before he can't, for whatever reason. But then, out of all of that, then as it moves into, was it the chorus or like the next part? When it moves into that, the music softens up. It switches back to 8/8 or 4/4. The music that ascending line from Greenfield is changed from that into something a little bit more standard and melodic that we've heard. Like, all the music changes into something, for lack of a better word, nicer. And then it switches back and forth from those two contrasting feels. And, I mean, in this track, he does mention black and white. And if you want to get into it, I would say that those two contrasting fields do kind of perfectly emulate black and white. So that's kind of cool. And then there's a lot of interesting nuance in this song as well, especially from, I would say, the guitar and the bass in here. I mean, obviously Greenfield, right? That's a given. But like that ending bass line, that is so interesting. And it's kind of like a little last memento of like, we need help. Like, it feels like an SOS, the way that he's playing at the very end there, which also kind of works as this cool, I don't want to say a bass solo, but a cool melodic lead at that particular point. I don't know. This is a different kind of song. And I think they really do capture the nice back and forth with that black and white really well. The enemy has cut down all the power. London south of the Thames invaded. Is it the Thames? Times. I can't remember how to say it. Thames. I think it shows Thames. Thames. Westminster is razed down to the ground. The government has fled. The government has fled for Scotland today. It becomes black and white. Is it true what they say? They turn the day into night. Black and white becomes. The government has fled into thin air. What's left of our troops has joined the Scots. To form in defense across the north, stay in your homes, be off the street by nightfall. There's your curfew. It becomes black and white. Is it true what they say? Germany failed to protect all borders, had grown soft with the American dream. The men from the steppes delivered their vacuum. A new kind of freedom. Freedom's a chain. Maybe I'll find love when there's nothing to do. Well, apparently, as of right now, there's something to do. So I won't pretend like I know exactly what they're talking about. I'm not going to pretend like I know the geopolitics and stuff that's happening here, talking about Scotland and Germany and things like that. So that's it. I won't pretend to know because I don't know, and I can't try and pretend or search for something. You guys would probably know a lot better than I would because I don't know exactly what they're talking about. Something's happening. Just don't know what. There's history happening, but I can't tell you what that is. Maybe you can tell me what that is, and do so in the comments down below. Follow me on Twitter. Support the channel on Patreon. Thank you as always for being here. Listen, sometimes I just don't know, but that's what you're here for. Have a great one, guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye. That's pretty much